As I mentioned earlier, it's your second feature. It's a little bit different from the first film, but also you had a very interesting collaboration with a wonderful writer, screenwriter, Jean-Claude Carrière. So can you talk about the start, about the process, writing with Jean-Claude, and how long it took, and how collaborative the process was?
So, yes, thank you to stay again. You come, you stay, you're fantastic. And I mean, no, because you know the screenwriter is Jean-Claude Carrière, so he wrote so many movies. I'm sure you know him, or maybe you know without knowing it, yeah. Because he wrote maybe 200 scripts, you know. So I was a huge fan of him when I was 16 years old, because I saw him on television, and he was telling like a quote of Milos Forman, because he worked with Milos Forman, and it was about May '68, and he was telling that Milos Forman was super shocked when he came to Paris in May '68, because he said that why students in Paris, they want to put the red flag of the communism party. Instead, me in Czechoslovakia, we put so many energy to try to get off the communism. So I don't know, it was a little bit provocative to say that on television, on French television about, and then I said that I like that guy, and I already knew all the films that he wrote with Buñuel, and with Godard also. He wrote 2 movies with Godard, and with Louis Malle, obviously, and Pierre Etex, who is a French director who was also directing and acting in his film in the 60s. He made several movies. Like a clown. He was a clown, Pierre Etex. So he wrote, even with Jacques Tati. So he's 87 years old. He worked, I mean, he's like a legend. So I came to him, and I already worked a little bit on my first script, for my first film, and he gave me some notations and advice and things like this, and I said, okay, let's try to write something together. But we have fights when we talk about films, because he loves films that I don't like, and I love movies that he hates. For example, Jacques Demy, he doesn't like Jacques Demy, for example. Okay, bon, Jacques Demy, I said, why do you want to? Because he hates the sentimentalism, comment on pourrait dire, le sentimentalisme, the sentimentalism of psychology or something like this. So, and me, I love sentimentalism. You know, I'm very sentimental. I'm so much I can sing Podane and Les Parapluies de Cherbourg, you know, on my bathtub, you know, what's the American name of Les Parapluies de Cherbourg?
Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
You know, Umbrellas of Cherbourg, I sing Umbrellas of Cherbourg every morning, you know, I like this. And he doesn't like it. So we start, I came to see him and I said, okay, there is this plot from a play of Marivaux, who is a French writer, and it's the story, okay, it's very famous in France, not in America, but it's about a widow and a guy who he was just left by a woman. And I love that 2 characters, the beginning, like a widow and a left man. And then I realized that Silver Lining Things was exactly that plot. So I said, no, okay, no, it's not a good plot because it's already made. But even you know, we are everywhere French, because even in the David O. Russell movie we are in, you know, because it came from us, you know, the plot of it's called La Seconde Surprise the Second Surprise of Love, which is also who had a connection with the film, because it's a second surprise, the film of love. Then he had, and Jean-Claude, like this, we didn't know exactly where we were going, and this is because we didn't have a producer, so we played at that game that we Surrealist called cadavre exquis. Do you know that expression? Cadavre exquis, okay. It's a play that André Breton, which was the leader of the Surrealism in France. Okay, she laughs. I like your laugh, you know. It's a big and then, so you write a sentence, so once upon a time, and then the other person, you say, a man with a green jacket, and then the other one comes into a bathtub, and then so we played a little bit like at this game, which is a childish game, but so smart and so intelligent. So we didn't have like a point to go, you know, because most of the time you have a structure. I mean, you structure your script, and then after you write the scenes. We were not like this. We were more free because we didn't have a producer, and we were not paid, so it was for free. So we were more, and we start to play like this. And we had to fight a lot, because I wanted to put some sentimentality in the film, and he didn't want that. He said, no, you're too sentimental, Louis. And I said, and he was so tough. For example, the first scene, he wrote the first scene. And I read the first scene, and I said, what's that scene, Jean-Claude? I mean, it's terrible for the young guy. He doesn't react. He said, yeah, that's what it's good. I mean, what do you mean it's good? I mean, he could only, I mean, he could say something, scream or slap her or something like this. And he said, you know what, Louis, if you do like this, people, they know that you're going to scream because they expect that from him. So let's do and then I realized something very important that, and we play like this all the working time. I mean, I took a plot so familiar. I mean, in USA, so French. You have like 2 women, 1 man, street of Paris, music, Eiffel Tower in the beginning, you know. So it's, I mean, it's the most familiar argument that I couldn't expect. And then so you have expectations for sure of what's going to happen. But we try to play with Jean-Claude, with you, I mean the audience, because okay, we're going to try to make a surprise every scene. You know, it was like a childish game, but it's, I mean, it's the game also of that Jean-Claude like when he writes a script, you know, for example. And then we played like this fighting against my sentimentality and sometimes against his dryness, because sometimes he's so dry. I mean, he's 87 years old, so he knows, you know, he's so dry. I mean, he's dry because I mean, if somebody, that's true. I mean, for example, I can tell you the truth, which is a very shocking thing. He had so many friends who just died, you know, and I mean, every time that a friend to him died, I mean, he's shocked, you know, he cries, but 2 days, and then the 3rd day he continues to live. Otherwise, he can't live. You know, you have to continue your life. So he's very dry. I mean, it's like this, because it's too shocking when I say, no, you know what I mean. When you are at a certain point, you have to, so we are very different, you know, I don't know, if I'm left by a woman, I can cry like 6 months. He's going to cry 1 hour, you know, or something like this. So, because he knows that he's going to meet somebody, so he's going to meet someone else, like in 2 months and something like this. So I'm much more naive than him. So, but the whole script is made by this fight. I mean, it's interesting because and I think also this is what I like in the script because it's, you know, he couldn't stop to say me, Louis, matters of fact. I mean, where we go. And then when I was trying to write dialogues too long and too explications, he cut it, you know. So it was very funny. I mean, it was, yeah, voilà. That's the point.
Yeah, that was a wonderful collaboration. So after all this, you got some sort of a script, and you said there was no casting. So you asked Laetitia and Lily Rose to be in the film without any preparation. You gave them something to read, which I don't really know what it was.
No, they can talk about it, but it's very funny because I sent the script to Laetitia and to Lily. Lily was super up. She said yes. Of course, I love you can explain after why. I love the character, yes, okay. And Laetitia said, of course, but I don't like it. And I said, okay, and you have to explain why.
So, Laetitia, please share your experience getting the script.
It's more subtle than that. No, I have to say, I have to be honest, the first scene was so tough that I was like, how I'm going to do that? That never happened in my life to kick out a guy like that from my apartment. So I was wondering how it's possible to do it. And then I thought, okay, this time of the first scene is like only 6 months life putting together. When you break up with somebody, it takes time and you talk and you see each other so I imagine the scene like that. And I thought Marianne's going to be hard and calculating what she's doing and manipulative a bit. And then I just realized that she was very mysterious and interesting in a way, and different of the character that I played before. So I started to get exciting about it little by little, and Louis was talking to me about it, and Jean-Claude also talked to me about it, and I thought it was a very interesting thing
I agree. I think it's a beautiful role. It's very mysterious. It does recall a little bit of the Catherine Deneuve, some the Belle du Jour era, where there's the smile and you don't really know what it means, and I think you carried very well, even though the script was probably kind of weird to read, if I understand correctly. And what about you? Can you talk about your experience after saying yes to Louis?
Well, I really liked the script as soon as I read it, and I loved Louis' first movie, and I've known him since I was like 15, so I was excited to work with him in this way, and also I just thought the character was really interesting, and I think that it's a very real and very relatable feeling to be, 12 or 13 and to want something so badly, or want to like feel adult and like intense emotions so badly, but they're so unattainable at that age. And then when you're finally 18 and you notice that you can that things are more attainable to you now that you're older and you look like a woman and everything. And so I feel like that's a really relatable feeling to be like, well, now I can have everything that I wanted so badly when I was younger, and I need to and I almost need to have them to move on from my childhood. So I really like the way that feeling was translated into the script, and I thought that she was very interesting. I liked my character a lot, and I liked the story as a whole, and yeah, I was excited to work with Louis and Laetitia.
I love the character too. So was Louis very directive on set, or was it a collaborative process? Did he let you improvise, or was he like a tyrant on screen? Did he take over? Did he let you speak?
You're talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, can you repeat?
Because, Louis is going to speak.
I found
because
this
he's
one
talking
is less
too
good.
much. I thought he's going to talk. So
No, you need to talk.
Okay, sorry.
How was he on set? Was he like a collaborator that let you decide elements or improvise, or was he just like very strict? You can be honest.
Thank you. And then after, you're not here. Okay, we make a deal. We made a deal.
We can make another deal.
You make me nervous. Well, it was like that on a set. It was like that on a set. I was nervous, looking at him especially, and I know I could not fake it, or I have to be, strong and know what I was doing. And he's very exigent, and he knows what he wants, definitely. But and he has a good musical ears. It's like a perfectionist, so he was kind of tough sometimes, because sometimes I didn't know anymore what I was doing, but I realized that it was work, and he was pushing me in a good way to my limits and to have something good. So it was like just being him as a director and me as an actress, and try to do the best for the film. So it was very positive and strong experience.
And was he easier with you, or were you not as scared of Louis because you've known him for, maybe
No, I mean,
it's less intimidating maybe for you?
No, I mean, I think it's always intimidating when you obviously want to do a good job, and you want to be the best that you can be for the movie and for your director and for everything. But what was really helpful was that we rehearsed quite a bit before we shot. For several months, whenever we would all be in the same place, we would rehearse, and so in that period of time, we were able to try a bunch of different things, and try it this way, and then that doesn't work, and then try it this way, and so we were able to kind of work out the general, feeling of how the scenes should be before we got on set, and so that was really helpful. But yeah, I mean, like Laetitia said, Louis, Louis is. He knows exactly what he wants, and I feel that he has his movie in his head already when he's directing. So, so yeah, he was very, very directive in that way. But I really feel that anything that maybe I didn't understand as much while we were shooting, now that I've seen the movie, I understand it, and I think that he always had that in his head. So, no, he's lovely.
But the reality is that when you have a director who is an actor, it's difficult. because sometimes I was in the scenes with them, and then I was interrupting them. So it's very hard. But then, you know, you realize when you just shot a movie and you're acting it. I mean, I found that Charlie Chaplin was a genius. But after doing movies where I was directing, and I was helped by the monitor, you know, on set, and then when I realized that Charlie Chaplin didn't have a monitor on set, and I said, he's more genius than before, because and Buster Keaton also. You can't even imagine how they do. So for the actors, it's much more complicated sometimes when you have me, because I'm a young director. I don't have so many, comment on pourrait dire, the experience. So sometimes I was stopping. This is the most complicated thing sometimes.
Can you talk about your collaboration with the director of cinematography? She's wonderful, and she shot Irina Lubchansky. She shot Ismail Ghost, that you acted on.
I met her
among other things. Yeah.
I met her on the Ismail Ghost, the movie of Arnaud Desplechin, and then she came, and then we did the movie. But I can't exactly how can I explain my collaboration with her, because we had like 4 weeks to make the movie, so we had to be quick, and she was very. I mean, no, you know, sometimes it's just sensual, you know, with somebody, and it's like this with Irina Lubchansky. I mean, it's sensual. I mean, I talk to her like, I feel so bad because everybody is leaving. So sometimes.
No, we lock the door, so you can't actually leave, but it's fine. No, it's people coming with a microphone, so we can.
No, I tell
yeah, it's fine.
To the collaboration.
We're gonna play the movie like.
Does
again.
somebody has a question?
Yes, we have microphone or not? Okay, yes. So there's someone here.
Very cool movie. I wanted to say that I really like your movie. Well, you acted in the movie Ma Mère, My Mother. That was a great performance. And also, wanted to ask you a question. I'm a big fan of Bertolucci, and The Dreamers is one of my favorite movies. I wanted to ask you, you know, some of that improvisation, developing scenes on set. Do you apply that in your own movies?
Attends, what did you say? I don't understand a word. Shit.
So my question is, from working in...
I understand Bertolucci and everything, but the question is...
From working with them, you know, I feel like there was a lot of improvisation in The Dreamers. You know, the scenes were like very intimate. Do you apply this kind of technique when you make films? You know, did you apply anything from learning from someone like Bertolucci?
I was too young when I played on Bertolucci, and I was naked all the time in the film. So, you know, I couldn't exactly, I don't remember, except being cold, you know, because I was so... No, as an actor, I grab, you know, stuffs from every time, you know, from Christophe Honoré, a French director, from Bertrand Bonello, Bertolucci, even I don't know, Azanavicius, the last movie that I did. So I grab, you stole everything from everywhere. So no, because Bertolucci is so good, so you know, because it's very sensual, and he's a bit also perverse, you know, because once. No, perverse in a good way, huh? Because me, I'm French. That the perverse, it's very good for me. But I mean, no, because. But no, he's a manipulative. He's a manipulative director, but at least hopefully he's a manipulative director, because it. Well, what?
No, good. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
no,
good. Yeah. No.
But I'm glad you keep the actress fully closed.
The actress who?
You.
Oui.
Unlike Bertolucci.
Unlike Bertolucci? No, yeah. Bertolucci said, things are, yeah. Okay, so, and that's, no, so I stole everywhere. But I can tell you which things precisely that I grabbed from Bernardo. You know? I don't know.
Hi, merci pour ce film. C'est brilliant. My question is for Louis. I was wondering what was the choice behind not showing anything of Paul to the audience. There's no actor playing Paul. We don't see any pictures of him, as far as I remember. So what's that decision to hide Paul from the audience throughout the film?
It's good to have a character, and then you kill him before the movie's beginning, you know. I felt it was funny. I felt it was so funny because you think about Paul all the film, and then I don't know, like this it's quick, but after his absence is his absence is in all the scenes. Sometimes it reappears, then you see Paul. But you know, when I was hearing you, when I was talking about the dryness of Jean-Claude, which is a precise thing. For example, I know people, for example, at the cemetery scene At the beginning, for example, my character says, well, maybe she thinks about me. And I read something about that how can a character can ask himself that question? I mean, are you serious? I mean, this movie is about bad thoughts that we have all the time. Because we have so much, we can't control everything. We can try to control lots of things, but we can't control bad compulsions and bad desires. And I think that the movie is about also that, the compulsion that we have and something that we don't exactly control, and how we can deal this with elegance, you know? And it's about, like, it's an art de vivre, how you say that. And Jean-Claude is much more, I mean, for example, the first scene, at the beginning I found it too much tough, but now when I watch it, I said it's more close to the truth than another one, more conventional. It's more close to the, you know, okay, ciao, bye. Then you left. It's like this. I mean, you know, it's very hard. And I felt less guilty because I read this summer interviews from Buñuel. Buñuel is the most sophisticated director in the whole world of cinema. And the journalist keeping asking him, why did you do this precise shot? And then he said, I don't know, I just did it. And then I felt like, okay, so I'm not so stupid. It's like, you know, because sometimes you don't know. You know, you start like this, and then you're going to see after what exactly infused, you know, in the movie. If it has an effect or not. So we decided at the beginning like this, you know. It's also pulsional. I mean, after, when you do a movie, you try to make a theory about your own movie. But, I mean, you can do it like 3-4 years after when you watch a movie. But it's a question of pulsions most of the time. It's very pulsional to do something. I think. I can tell you how we worked, but the meaning I don't exactly know, you know. Why we do this?
There's a question.
Because if I answer, why do you did this? After the next question is why do we live? And after I have a panic attack and I watch the sky like this. So I prefer to not answer.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your experience on the
Thank you
film.
very much. Thank you very much.